that link in just a moment. Coming your way.
We'll be a little bit behind.
Going.
What's up, Stockton?
We're live on YouTube, so if you have anybody who's not able to tune into Facebook, you guys can
there we go.
on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube now, we doing big things now. YouTube. Man.
What's up, narrator?
Once you get on YouTube, you doing it big.
Okay, let me just check and just stream this.
There we go. So I'm gonna share that with you guys now.
Okay. Just a little technical difficulties, man. Sometimes when we just.
He wants the link before we get started.
Yeah.
But we
Waiting in the
gotta get started
background.
to create the link. And then
We
have
do?
it. Yeah, you have to get started to create a link, and then you have a link to share.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, I know. Broadcast? I don't know. There we
Sure.
go. Okay, so got you on one, and then Andre.
Okay, here we go. Okay, tune in, Stockton. How you doing, Dre?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, Reg?
I'm doing good. So we got Juan in the house. Juan from the Salvation Army, right?
Yep. How you guys doing?
All right. You didn't know what to expect, huh?
No, not at all.
When I called you and I texted you, I was like, man, this dude's been doing some move. How old are you, Juan?
Tomorrow I turn 40 years old.
Oh, wow. Tomorrow you're 40 years old? Man, you're hella young.
Yeah. Just 40 years old, and
Man, you could be my son.
Oh,
No, I'm only 51, bro. I'm just like,
You look a little older than that. but it's all good.
Mijito, where have you been my whole life? Hey, so really quick, we're gonna talk about I don't know how comfortable you are talking about you grew up in Stockton.
I grew up in Stockton.
Where'd you grow up at?
In the southeast area. Back
Southeast,
there by
B Street.
Behind the fairgrounds, yep.
Yeah.
On B and 10th.
On B and 10th?
Yeah.
That's where I grew up at.
That's where I grew up.
I grew up on 11th and B.
I grew up on 10th Street.
Right, so you know Edward Martell. He's the chief of the fire chief.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So you grew up right there on 10th and B, huh?
Yeah, when Hamilton, Franklin,
Hamilton, Franklin,
to
Red
the
Sea
railroad
Market.
tracks,
Red Sea Market.
yes.
That's cool, man.
St. Linus Church.
St. Linus, yep, that's my spot right
There
there.
you go.
Hey, St. Linus Church, they have that cave and then they have the saint in there.
Yeah.
My dad built that cave.
Oh, wow.
Shoot.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he collected all the rocks from the river and carried them. No, I'm just kidding.
San Juan.
He had a burro and he carried all the. No, so you grew up there, and what was it like growing up? What was your childhood like?
Well, everything's all good until you hit junior high and high school. Started following them railroad tracks out there on Franklin, and what goes out there, and just fell into what we call
The
getting
railroad
high.
tracks at Franklin?
Yeah.
So
Spent most of my time out there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. The railroad tracks is where everybody gets high at.
Yeah, that was the thing to do, right?
Hey, when I was I don't know how to say this culturally sensitively, but because I'm 51 years old, but when I was in high school, there wasn't a lot of Chicanos hanging at the railroad tracks.
No.
It's different times. No, there wasn't a lot of Chicanos at the railroad tracks. We kicked it by the handball court right there by the gym.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
probably because of you, they pushed us out into the railroad tracks. You know how times change, They got a little creative and how to keep us off, those areas.
Hey, so really quick, let's take this back. So you got caught up. Were you caught up when you were younger, hanging out with the homies and everything else?
Yeah, it's part of what you grow up. You see it, you hear it on the radio, you watch it on TV, and you just want to be a part of what you see. And
Right.
it just became natural to be a part of whatever you call getting high, selling it, drinking, and just,
selling drugs,
enjoying life and partying and doing all this fun stuff you think that is part of life.
Right. So okay. So you started partying. How long were you partying? How long were you? Because you're pretty young. You're 40 years old.
I'm
So how
40
long?
years old. So I say about 16 years old, I started smoking weed and, drinking cigarettes. And then about 18, you start messing with coke and take advantage.
Like Scarface?
Yeah,
Did you have a big old pile of coke like Scarface?
You see all this on TV, you see it on movies, and you imitate it, right?
Right.
Copycat.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just the natural thing you see, and it just started that. It started it all
I'm
be
gonna ask
fun.
you a quick question.
Yeah.
Who'd you buy your Coke from? Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding.
From you.
Hey, so you were partying, and then what happened that made you turn your life around? What's that? That's what our listeners want to know, man. What was it?
Man, 29, living on my mom's couch, no
On the
kids,
couch.
no wife, no nothing, pockets
kids?
empty, just broken, just hurting, thinking like, man, if I was made to be nothing, I got to learn how to be very good at this because it sucks right now.
Right,
You know, it sucks being nothing.
right.
You know, down to bones, you know, down on everything, down on my luck, just hoping and wishing just that one more come up, get
Yeah.
you back going, and it was just false.
Dreams.
So,
Yeah, man.
so would you consider that your bottom? Or
That was
what
rock
was your
bottom,
That was
rock
your
bottom.
Okay.
29 years old, my grandmother passing away, and my grandmother would just say, "When are you gonna get to know God? When are you gonna give me some grandkids? And when are you gonna come to church?"
Right.
That was it. Every time I see her,
That's
love
good advice.
you, I love you. Bye, Grandma. I'll see you later. Okay, and she would just ask me those simple questions. And when she died, that's all I could hear is, when am I going to get to know God?
Right.
But what does that look like?
Right.
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 So what eventually happened? What is the process that led you like to change your life? Because you have it's been like 9 years, right, or longer?
Yeah, 9 years. I have 9 years in September, and
That's what's up.
my grandmother died in June. So I started to try to figure out what could I do to help my mom, and in a positive way was, okay, maybe I'll go get on some food stamps,
Right.
do something like that, go in front of the judge and say, you know what, Your Honor, I'm tired of having this warrant. I'm tired of going back and forth with you.
Right.
I got a proposition for you. How about you just lock me up for a year, take this away, and, you know, I don't do drug court, none of this. But he had other plans.
He had other plans for you.
Yeah, he had other plans.
That's cool.
He knew better, but I was trying to tell him how
So
to do it.
you went to a program. Did you go to the Salvation Army program?
Yes, that's where it started for me.
Wow.
I went to I had a choice. You can choose 6 or 3. Anybody do the math, you figure that one out. And I said, I'll do the 6 months, go in there, go to the Salvation Army and do the program. How hard can it be?
What changed for you when you were in the program? What was the difference maker? What were the stepping stones? Like what big things happened for you to stay there? Because a lot of people don't stay at drug programs.
Yeah, you know, as I was in that program, you go into chapel weekly, twice a week. You're going to Bible studies. You're going to NAA groups. I just started to feel something different. I didn't understand what it was. I didn't know what that meant. I started to feel something different every month. Something
Feeling
was
better?
just
Started feeling better about yourself?
positive.
Yeah.
Like I was worth something. Like
Right.
I was meant to do something in this world, in this
You had
city.
purpose.
You know, for the first time, I started to feel that. And
Like you was meant to do something in this city.
in this city,
You felt that way back then.
I felt that.
So it was a calling on you.
It was God saying, you know what, I'm going to get you out of this. I'm going to use you to preach the word and go in the city of Stockton and go in other places, and you're going to tell them about my son, Jesus Christ. Would you accept that? And I said, you know what, I accepted other non-foolish things that had nothing. I said, I'm all in. God,
You're all in.
You lead me, you show me, you teach me, you help me. I don't know what it looks like, God, but I don't want to be that person I used to be. I want to be somebody different.
So what was the process like?
Accepting Christ into my life.
And then what happened? Because you had to. You're a pastor now, right?
Yeah, I'm a pastor.
So what was that process like?
Man, it included going back to school at 32 years old, trying to get my GED, realizing that, man, I didn't know nothing. I didn't do much school time, so it was starting from scratch. And
You mean like macaroni art scratch, or
it was
just
scratch, like 2 times 2,
two
you
times
know?
two? Yeah, yeah.
Two
What
times
is that
2,
like?
and it was hard, but through it, I remember every test I was taking, I would say, God, if you want me to become a pastor, well, you need to help me pass this test. And he would just show me through those little things, you know, and he continued to show me throughout. He still does right now.
Where were
to
you?
this
Were
day.
you here in Stockton, or you left somewhere else?
I went to Lodi and from Lodi, I went to Oakland working with the Salvation Army. I was in Oakland. I started going to GED classes out there. Got my GED. I went to Laney College for a year. 2014, I packed up my stuff. I head down to Los Angeles. I did 2 years of seminary.
Seminary.
Seminary, that's what people would consider it, right? Bible college. Salvation.
You actually lived at the Bible college?
Salvation Army owns a college, has their own college, and I lived there for 2 years. I just learned about the word. I learned about the ministry. I learned what I was called to do, and gave me enough tools to just get me on my way.
Wow. That's incredible. So that fire stayed in you the whole time? Are there times where you doubted, like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this, this is too much?
You know, when they sent me back to Stockton, just back in July, I really...
When this last July?
In July, I've been here 3 months. So I left in 2010 and I returned back in 2019. And I'm told that you're going to oversee the community center in Stockton. And
The one on Airport Way.
On Airport and Weber. And I just was blown by that. And honestly felt like, what could I do, you know? God once again said, I could use you. I need you to go back there. I need you to
Back in the hood.
I need you to be that person.
You know what? I have an interesting story, right? So I was like about 5 years old or 6 years old, and my grandmother lived on Union Street, which is a couple blocks from the center, right? I went to that center, and they used to have crafts. You make arts and crafts and stuff in the room, right? And I had a shirt. I couldn't read because I was only like 5. And the shirt said, "Here comes trouble." So every time I walked around the other kids, they would go, "Oh, here comes trouble." So I thought all the kids hated me at that center, though. But I was sitting there at the center playing. You know, I got to play and do arts and crafts. As I got older, I looked at the shirt, and I was like, no wonder they said, "Here comes trouble." That's what my shirt says.
Yeah.
But I remember that community center being open to
Yeah.
me, and it was a place for us to go. And we had crafts, and we was grateful back then, you know?
And that's what we're striving for. We want that community center to be open to the kids of the community.
Right.
We need help. We need people that say, I'll volunteer to teach this. I'll volunteer to teach
So what do you need to
music.
volunteer at the Salvation Army on Airport Way?
We
What do you
just
need?
come in, background, make sure you want to be a positive influence on kids, a positive role model, someone that wants to make a difference in children's lives. And not only that,
do you need volunteers? You need men and women?
we could always use men and women, some people with talent. Even if you don't have talent, just all help is good help.
Right.
You know, I can't change Stockton by myself, and I don't want to.
Right.
Right? I don't want to. It takes us all to change Stockton. It takes the whole community to come together, to fight together, to make something better. Me and my wife been talking about, we want to make some shirts, and it's just on our hearts is saying, making Stockton better. You know, we're going to play our part and do our part to make Stockton better. And if that's in kids' lives, if that's in people that come to the Salvation Army for services, and we can just talk to them, we just want to make Stockton better and help people out.
Okay, so how does what does your mom think now that you came back and you're just like this dramatic difference? I mean, you were that guy on the couch
I was
looking for a come up.
My mom has been my best friend, my hero. She's been there through it all, and you know, I don't know how could I ever repay for what she did when people counted me out. You know, she didn't count me out. She knew that she still believed in me, and today I just give her all I can give her. You know.
Yeah.
I'm forever grateful to have her in my life. I'm forever grateful to be back right now here in Stockton, being able to just see her every day and have that time with her is just a.
Did she ever tell you how proud she is of you and all that?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yes, we've last conversations before, sitting behind the in jail, and I was like, Mom, when I turn 30, Mom, from 30 to 40. I'm going to do something good. I'm going to do something positive. And, the look in her eyes was like, I believe you, son. And it has happened.
Right.
I turn 40 tomorrow. And tomorrow when I have this.
Tomorrow's your birthday.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese out. And I get to sit with my mom and tell her, remember when we had that conversation
nice
in the county and me telling you I'm going to do something positive, and look at, 10 years has passed by, and man,
That's incredible.
I don't even know what to say on that
Yeah.
part, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth.
That's incredible, man. Is your grandmother still alive?
No, my grandmother passed away, so
Did she get to see a part of it?
no,
No?
she didn't get to see a part of it, but her words, I think because we lost her,
Yeah.
that's what opened my eyes,
Yeah.
because she would just be so simple.
She seen something in you and she believed in you.
She was so simple with all of us. My grandma wasn't always a believer. She came to Christ, I think, about 5 years before she passed away, and she just was somebody different.
But just in time to plant it in your heart.
In all our hearts, because today, my sister, my cousins, my aunts, and them go to the church that she used to go to, right? Now I'm back in town, and I'm not pulling on my church. Instead, I'm working with their church.
What church is that?
That's Primera Iglesia Bautista, Pastor Pablo. They're the
Spanish?
Spanish. So
Okay.
I work with them. I get to go over there because that's where they used to pray for me.
Yeah, that's powerful, man.
He tells me stories like, your grandma used to pray for you, and it's
That's
nice to hear that.
powerful.
And so it's just a full circle, and honestly, sometimes it's just overwhelming, because it's like,
So let's talk about what your needs are right now at your church. What are some of the things that you're working on, trying to get going? Because you help a lot of people.
We do help a lot of people. I think some people don't realize what we do. For Thanksgiving, we're going to feed 350 families.
350 families?
What that means is
That's like 1,500 people.
We've bought a turkey and food box. The turkeys have not been donated to us, right? We purchased them. But in the future, that's a big need,
Yeah.
Times are getting rough. What could help us?
I
What
grew
could
up
help
on
us?
stuff like that.
And so everything helps, and a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of organizations out here doing it, and it's not just us, but we all need help, and the Salvation Army needs help during the Christmas season, providing toys to kids. Families that are not going to be able to afford that. As we walk the streets or drive around the streets of Stockton, what do you see under the bridge? What do you see now? You see kids living life under a bridge.
Caught in the crossfire.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Kids living in the streets.
in the streets. It's not just adults, it's kids. I've never seen something like that. It breaks my heart. How can we do something for those kids?
Right.
Right? Because they don't have a house. They don't have a residence. Right? And how do we provide for them? It's a different avenue. And to me, it just breaks my heart to see this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look, can I ask you something about the community center?
Yes.
What does the community center provide now for the kids?
Honestly, we're not there yet. I just got back. We're looking at what we're gonna provide. We're partnering up with this young man that's gonna bring basketball. He's gonna teach basketball.
All right. Who's the young man?
Eric Banks,
right.
Peace Word Warriors. A shout out to him. He's out there providing basketball for kids that don't pay
You have
nothing.
a gym, right?
Yeah, we have a gym, so they don't pay nothing. They get to play ball and travel.
Right.
And this kid has done that. He came to the Salvation Army because he was down and he needed some help with some bills. And now he came back to say, you know what could we do together?
Wow.
And that's what we're doing together.
That's powerful. Man.
We used to do music. We want to continue teaching music, guitar lessons.
Right.
We want to teach kids things that they wish they could, but they can't because ain't nobody bought them an instrument. Well, guess what? We got instruments. We just ain't got teachers.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Hear that? Any music teachers?
That want to teach music at the Salvation Army and teach kids. These kids want to strum a guitar. They want to play the drums. Let's get creative. Let's teach these kids what they want to learn.
Right. So what was the main purpose that they send you over here to this center for?
The main purpose is to do ministry, right? To help the community, to find ways to be an outlet for homeless population. What can we do to get them from A to B and then from B to C? What part can we play as the Salvation Army to help people overcome the struggle right now, right? We're there in a time of need. Second, can't do it alone. We need help. We need people to partner up with so we can find out and figure out other ways of making this dream realistic.
Right, I believe it takes all of us.
All of us,
It
yeah.
takes all of us. And all of us can have a role and do our part.
You know,
Yeah.
Even if it's just serving food.
Yeah,
You know,
you didn't
I
serve
mean,
food,
some
being a
real
friend.
sim-
Yeah,
some
some real simple.
Some real simple.
Cleaning
man.
up.
Just a little bit of time.
Who's cleaning up the center now? You are, right?
we between my wife and I and volunteers, you know, sometimes we're doing toilets and sometimes we're mopping and sometimes
Yeah.
we're unloading the truck and sometimes I jump in the box truck to go pick up the food donations. I'm doing a little bit of
You get
everything.
food donations all week?
Yes.
And you guys give 'em out?
Yeah, we feed the public, the families, people from Monday, Wednesday.
You guys
to
cook
Friday.
food for them?
We don't do that yet. We're not in that area yet. It's a
But you
little
guys give
different.
out food baskets.
But
and
we
food.
give out food baskets, breads, and you know, we're looking to partner up with other organizations to help us find more resources for family.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you got this calling on your life and you're only 40 years old.
40 years old.
You got another 30 years over there. At
I'm
least
ex-
70, probably more.
I'm excited to see what could happen in another 10 and probably, you know, just take one day at a time.
Yeah.
But I set goals, right? Like we should all set goals and strive to be better and it takes challenges and trials to accomplish that. And
Right.
with all this
So what
going
keeps
on,
you going, man? When you get up every day, you got to have the motivation. What keeps you going?
I get to serve God and God is using me in his ministry to help his people.
Right.
And
So you only been there 3 months. So you
3
just barely.
months, yeah.
Wow.
I've been a pastor I'm going on my 4th year. I've been in Riverside for 1 year. I've been in Hollywood for 2 years, and now this is my fourth
Nice.
year here.
Because I met you through my boy Nate Summers, and
Yes.
and he's probably listening. Him and
Yeah.
shout out to him and Gracie. But you guys, since I met you, I must have met you right when you got here. Then.
Yes, it's all Nate's fault.
But-
Nate's the one who sent me to Salvation Army.
Yeah,
as a judge.
he's a good guy.
Yes.
So
he is.
you're doing really good, and you need help to the community. How do they contact you?
Well, through email, juan.orgal@usw.salvationarmy.org, or you can go to Facebook page, Salvation Army Stockton. You know, look up Salvation Army in Stockton on Weber. There's 2 facilities, right? We're on Weber. The other facility is the ARC, which helps the men in recovery, adult rehabilitation center, and that's where it all happened and started for me.
So you have a testimony of your life. You've been 9 years clean,
Yeah.
making a difference in the town. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners with?
I don't know. I just thank you
Yeah.
for inviting me.
Yeah.
You know, this is first time for me, but Stockton, we're here together to fight. I mean, that's just the way it is. People are counting us out. You know, we're a small city. We're high on these other top of the list for crimes and all that. Let's reduce that and tell these other states and states that are around us and cities that, you know what, we're not just up on those numbers, but we're going to be up on these other numbers too.
Right.
And turning it around.
Turning
and
people's lives around.
Turning it around and just being a positive role models and showing that we do care. There's a lot going on in Stockton to come, and it's amazing that, you know, we're not going to be the same city we used to be, but it's going to take all of us to move forward as one community.
Okay.
Can you repeat that email for us, just in case for the people listeners that didn't get it?
So it's juan.origal@usw.salvationarmy.org.
And what are your hours of operation if people just want to
We're
walk in?
9 to 3 right now at the moment. You can walk
Right
in
there on airport
and
and Weber.
I'll give you a tour of the building. We'll have a conversation, and you know, if you want to see what we're doing, come by. Check us out. Come through and come see what we're doing, and if it fits and you want to be a part of it and you're looking for an opportunity to volunteer, we'll make it happen. We'll do something.
Okay. That's awesome. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks to Renee running the boards. You have any announcements?
We do. We have Sip and Shop coming up on the Miracle Mile. That's going to be November 30th. You guys get to do a meet and greet with the hosts here. So any of your favorite shows, you might get to come by and meet the hosts of those shows to hopefully include you guys if your schedules are open. There's going to be quite a few things. Lots of wine. Well, because we're just talking about it, but we really need our hosts to get here, you know what I mean? You want to be part of that group now.
So sip and shop coming to the Miracle Mile.
November 3rd is going to be on Miracle
All right,
Mile,
all
right?
right.
You can sip on some coffee if you want. You'll be all right.
Will there be coffee? Will there be non-alcohol?
Seriously funny on the voice of San Joaquin and Stockton. And this is KBCC 89.5 FM in Tracy.